All right, what's going on, guys? Daniel from grit-lift.com. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about why I chose to do a physical therapist assistant program. So when I first got into this program, one of the teachers asked why everybody decided to do this program and what their plans were with it, and if they wanted to do anything, specific in terms of a certain niche, right? So, a lot of people said, I'm coming from a health background of some sort and going into it. And when I came up, I said, I'm a personal trainer, nutritionist, and, I came here to, further my educational development. And she said, oh, yep, there's always one of those. And you decided that physical therapy was better than personal training. And when she said that, I responded, I said, actually, no, not really. And, she proceeded to ask, okay, well, what's your story then? Like, what, why are you here? And so that's what I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about, because I chose to do a physical therapist assistant program because I personally wanted my anatomy, physiology, and maybe even most importantly, just my reasoning abilities, my ability to critically think. I wanted those skills to skyrocket. One of the number one complaints that you hear in the fitness industry in general is, oh, personal trainers are not educated. It takes, if you really try hard enough, maybe a couple weeks to study for a National Academy of Sports Medicine certification for personal training. There's no actual licensure for personal training. There's no scope of practice. There is a generalized way to go about getting certifications for personal training and nutrition. But besides like a registered dietitian, there's no other accredited degrees to go get in personal training. And so I decided to do a physical therapist assistant program because, to say the least, this program the last 2 years has been very vigorous. My anatomy and physiology and critical thinking abilities have definitely gone way up. Maybe even most importantly, realized that I should never assume that I'm right, and that I should always look at the evidences, whether that be the literature out there or somebody's life, a reoccurring thing that's been going on, whatever it is. Those skills have gone way up. And I wanted to do that, and I explained to her in this class, right, if we're circling back around, and I'm explaining to this teacher why I decided to do this program, because I want to use it to make myself a much better coach, a much better personal trainer, a much better nutritionist, somebody who has an educated mind that can think through things, at least to a better degree than I used to be able to. And that's not to say that, somebody who hasn't been doing this for 30 years or something like that doesn't know what they're doing. There are plenty of people that have been doing this a long time that really know what they're doing and are awesome coaches, and I respect them a ton. For me personally, I really wanted the educational aspect of it so that I could use it for this field. That being said, I've never been a big fan of our college system in general. I've been struggling in and out of college for about 7 years now. I keep saying 7 years. I think it's probably more like 8 years now. I went through EMT school right out of high school, took a year off, went to school for a registered dietitian for a semester until I couldn't afford that anymore. Then took quite a few years off and got my a few nutrition certifications and a personal training certification, and started my own coaching my own kind of clients at Gold's Gym for a long time, and then kind of quit that, started doing my own thing. Originally called my brand Primal Form Aesthetics, and then over time, that name just wasn't sticking, and so I went with Grit Lift, and it's been that way ever since. The reasoning behind going to school was to be a better coach, be a better personal trainer, a better nutritionist, and use the skills that I'm going to get from even just working in the clinic in the future to utilize what I learn in there as far as the mindset goes and the critical thinking goes and the anatomy and physiology, like use all of that for personal training and my ability to coach people. So the physical therapist assistant program, very rigorous program. I did it to force myself to grow mentally in my ability to reason, and it's definitely done that thus far. Because there's no licensure for personal training, like you can edit your Instagram and call yourself a personal trainer without actually being one, and it's not illegal. Like you know, and in Colorado you can do the same thing with the title nutritionist. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, when I called myself something, that I have a good base to go off of that will make me a much more accredited, educated trainer and coach. And then, you know, the experience thing will come along over time as well. So for anybody that is watching this, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, hit that bell button for the notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.